A very warm welcome, dear brothers and sisters, to the Redemptorist Friendship Circle, a podcast by the Redemptorist community of the Vice Province of Malaysia and Singapore. In this podcast, we try to talk about everything Redemptorist. We introduce you to the Redemptorists around the world and try to talk about interesting and current topics in and around the Catholic Church. I am Terence Wee, a Redemptorist priest serving here in Novena Church and a host of this podcast.
And hi everyone, my name is Gerard and I'm happy to be back with you in the Redemptorist Friendship Circle after a while.
Yes, welcome back, Gerard. Okay, so you used to be the regular host, but now today you are the guest host. But this is actually the first podcast episode of 2026. So I just want to say a big hi to all our listeners. Thank you for patiently waiting. And we wanted to go back to our regular monthly podcast episodes, but things have been really a bit crazy for all of us. But we try our very best, and we are starting the year with a very, very big and important guest. But before that, Gerard, how have you been? What have you been busy with up to now?
Yeah, 2025 was a very busy year for me, with many projects that I was involved in. Not least the 75th anniversary celebrations, and I was asked to take care of the theological symposium, but that also included taking care of all the guests who were coming. So that was a good 3 to 4 months job lah. And of course, we had all our gigs.
Yes.
Our Redemptorist band had its most successful year last year. We had another side job being professional musicians on top of our
I'm not sure about professional, but definitely it's a wonderful time to just let our hair down and enjoy ourselves.
Yeah.
How about this year?
Well, this year is I'm trying to take it a lot more slowly this year because I was quite tired by what happened. I had a lot of work with Archdiocese as well. Hopefully this year will be a little bit quieter for me.
Yes. I've been seeing you on a lot of high-profile events, and also you have been featured a fair bit in Catholic news, giving a lot of theological insights into a lot of things. So good job to you.
It's been a great opportunity, wonderful opportunity. It certainly helped me to step up, in what I'm doing as well. Yeah,
that's good. And also the young Redemptorists, those we call ourselves young, but we are just under 60. We actually had to go to Australia to have an important meeting, and of which I think we will be talking a little bit more in our future episodes, so we will not spill too much of the beans. But anyway, that's what have been keeping many of us busy for the early part of 2026. But today we have a lot to cover. Therefore, I don't want to waste too much time at the beginning. We are going to introduce you to probably the most important and the biggest guest that we can ever invite to our podcast. And Gerard, do you want to introduce him?
Yes. So for the first episode of the Redemptorist Friendship Circle of 2026, we have the best Redemptorist guest that we could possibly find. We have Father Rogerio Gomez, our Superior General.
So just in case,
on securing him.
So just in case people are wondering, like, who is the Superior General? Do you want to explain?
Yes. So we are a hierarchical organization, and we have leaders at several different levels. The first leader would be the leader of the community or the church where we belong to. And then above him would be a provincial superior, somebody who has leadership over a country or more than one country or a particular region. And then it goes to our international and worldwide leadership based in Rome. And so the Superior General is the leader of the Redemptorists throughout the entire world. And when we say that he is a successor of St. Alphonsus himself, who was our founder and very first Superior General, which at that time was called the Rector Major. But today we use the more common term of Superior General.
So, in a more layman term, after the Pope, I think the next person that we listen to is the Superior General already.
Well, I would say it would be the Superior General first of all, because I mean the Pope has a worldwide leadership of the Church, but in our daily life, we live and work in the congregation, and so he is the first point of reference, I think, for everyone. He's the one who's giving the direction and the vision and the process of how we live our lives as Redemptorists.
Okay, so maybe without further ado, let us just go right to the interview with Father Rogerio, and then we'll come back and have a little bit more chat about the interview that we had with him. Okay, so enjoy. All right, dear brothers and sisters, let us put our hands and warmly welcome Father Rogerio Gomez. Okay, so just for the benefit of our listener, let me explain a little bit more who Father Rogerio is. As you know, this podcast is dedicated to introducing you to Redemptorists around the world and hearing the inspiring stories of their mission and evangelization works. And among all our guests, we cannot get anyone more important than Father Rogerio. Now, Father Rogerio is from Brazil, but he is currently our Superior General, meaning he is the boss of the boss of the boss. So he is now our ultimate superior around the world. And therefore, I'm so excited to have this chat with you, Father Rogerio. So firstly, I really want to welcome you, Father Rogerio, to this chat. Thank you so much for taking time off your extremely busy schedule to come on our podcast and share with us your experiences and wisdom. Maybe before we begin anything, I would just like to invite you, could you just briefly share your vocation story and tell us how did you come to know the Redemptorists and what was your journey like in finally deciding to become a Redemptorist?
Thanks so much, Terence. It's a pleasure to be here with you and of all people that listen to us. I was born in a Catholic family. My parents taught me to pray when I was still a child. I come from a rural background. My family has plantations of coffee, corn, soybeans, and other crops. I believe my vocation was shaped by three key events. The terrible experience I had with a priest during my first confession, as he treated me very badly. My confirmation, when the bishop presented us with a cross and said, "You must say Christ yesterday, Christ today, and Christ always." And a medical error in a health diagnosis. I believe these events helped me understand what God was communicating through my life story. I got to know the Redemptorists through Radio Aparecida. Radio Aparecida in Brazil is a famous radio found by the Redemptorists and the popular missions. I decided to join the Redemptorists because of their mission, the simplicity and the accessible language they used, and also because of the dynamic style with which they celebrate the Mass and other celebrations. This touched me deeply. When I began to think about entering the seminary, I was still unclear about the difference between being a diocesan priest and being a religious priest. For me, the difference, I don't understand the difference in the first way. But and initially I was interested to be Benedictine. The Benedictine style of life, Benedictine was interesting. However, as I deepened my discernment and learn more about monastic life, I realized that this way of life was not for me. It was then that I began to learn more about the Redemptorist Congregation. A key moment in my discernment was the opportunity to experience the Redemptorist mission up close, especially through the popular missions. This helped me a lot, as did my contact with the Redemptorist Vocational Secretariat, where I was able to be better understand what it means to be a Redemptorist. I entered, I joined the Redemptorist missionary in Aparecida in 1994, and I completed the entire formation process in various formation houses throughout the province of São Paulo, which is now known as the province of Nossa Senhora Aparecida, province of Lady Aparecida, because it's here we are, Lady of Perpetual Help in Brazil is famous Nossa Senhora Aparecida.
Yeah. Maybe just to interject a little bit. So at what age did you join the Redemptorist?
19 years old. Uh-huh.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yes.
Just so fresh after school.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Uh-huh.
All right. So, all right. So, please continue to continue your story.
This is an overview about my history until enter the seminary. It's a short story about this.
And how in what year did you get ordained?
I ordained in 2006. I was ordained
2006.
In 2000.
Okay.
Yes. It's interesting because in 2006 I was ordained a deacon and sent to the formation house. In 2006 I was ordained a priest. This is
okay. Oh, so wonderful. All right. So there's a lot that we need to cover. So I will just try to ask the more important questions. So I believe for many of our listeners, they will be interested, and perhaps many of us Redemptorists will be interested to know how did you move from just being a Redemptorist of a province all the way up to the point where you are being elected as a superior general. So how did this whole process came about? So can you just roughly share with us, what is the journey like, and what were your experiences?
Yes, as I said, in 2005 I was ordained a deacon after I sent to formation. Immediately 2007 I was sent to Rome to study moral theology.
Oh,
I remained
just 1 year after your ordination.
Yes.
Wow,
yes.
Okay, all right.
This was very interesting because I was formator in the Superior Provincial, asked me and said, okay, next year, this was in September, and September 2006, and I was preparing to next year, the programs, etc. In September, he called me and said, next year, in January, probably we send you to Rome to start. And I said, Jesus Christ. Yes, this is very, because I need to rethink all things. but they have difficult to find another comfort to another position. And I stay in Brazil until July. But I was transferred. I was in a city, Campinas, near to São Paulo, and was transferred to São Paulo, accompanying helping another formator and accompanying the theologate in that time.
Okay.
Yeah. I remained in Rome from 2007 to 2009. I completed my degree and returned to Brazil, where I taught in various theological institutes and faculty in São Paulo. For example, I taught in the Benedictines in São Paulo. They have the
Okay.
yes, it was very interesting. And the reason that I discerned, because someone said, where if you enter to Benedictine, it's not possible to you visit your family, etc. I think it's monastic. It's not for me this style, no?
Yeah.
But after I discovered teaching there, it's possible for them to visit and to travel, etc., etc. No.
So you were
Yeah.
the victim of fake news.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In
Okay.
2000,
All
yes,
right.
yes. In 2011, I returned back to Rome to pursue a doctorate in moral theology. And after completing my doctorate, I began teaching at the Alfonsiana Academy. This is very interesting. Alfonsiana is a institute, a Redemptorist Institute, specializing in moral theology. It's a famous institute, and Pope Francis, for example, stimulate the Redemptorists to continue this mission. I think for us I think the Redemptorists need to be very proud about the Alfonsian Academy, and this is an institute very important because for men, priests, etc., and you have many bishops, cardinals that study in Alfonsiana. And in 2014, I was professor there, but I was elected provincial of the province of São Paulo, and I returned once again to Brazil. I stay as provincial 2 years. In general, the mandate of a provincial is for 4 years, but 2016, during the general chapter in Thailand, I was elected general consultant for Latin America and Caribbean, a position I held until 2022. And on 27 September 2022, the birthday of Saint Alfonso, I was elected Superior General of the Congregation. This is...
wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
But it's interesting because 26 September we celebrate Gaspar Stangasiger, no? A blessed. It is the patron of formators. I was formator. In that day, we have the vocation, no? I receive almost the votes to be general, and for one vote, I was elected that day.
So you are one vote short of being elected Superior General on the feast of Blessed Gaspar Stangasiger.
Yes. And another day, we have the first session in the day, in the morning, and I was elected general.
Oh, okay, wonderful. So maybe you can also share with us. I mean, to be the superior general of a congregation must be quite a daunting task. What was going on in your mind when you finally knew that for the following 6 years you will be the head of a congregation that is numbering between 4,000 to 5,000 people. So what were your feelings and uh, what were the things that was going on in your mind at that time?
For me, is a sense of responsibility, responsibility, and responsibility for animate the whole life, apostolic life of the congregation. I think this is my mind in that moment. Another things I didn't choose. This wasn't part of my life because
I suppose.
yes, it's interesting because my passion is to teach, to be reserved. But in that moment, the congregation conference, the general chapter, entrust me a mission. And I think I say, okay, it's not that I choose for my life, but the congregation asked to me this service. And I try to do my best to correspond this mandate.
Okay. So you could sleep the night after you were being elected.
Yes. It was interesting because, for example, 26 September, for one vote, I wasn't elected, no? And some conference say, okay, this night, it's not possible, to you to sleep. And I say, okay, that night I slept very, very, very well.
Very well. Okay,
Yes.
That's good.
But
Okay.
another day, life changed a lot.
Yes, exactly. So maybe it would also be interesting for us to know how is the life or the responsibility of a superior general look like, and what is a normal day like for you? What do you do for a day-to-day basis?
Yeah. The main responsibility of superior general is to animate the apostolic life of the congregation. These include a variety of activities ranging from the work carried out in Rome at the central office known as the Curia, General Curia, to meetings of the General Council, visit to the province, vice province, regions and missions, and drafting of documents and letters, as well as face-to-face and online meetings with different groups, with the congregation, with the various secretariats and commissions. And the mission also involved presiding over celebrations of things linked to congregational feasts, like, for example, the Jubilee here, jubilees, different types of jubilees, religions, professions that take place in the province, by province, regions, and missions. In addition, the Superior General serves as the direct representative of the congregation to the Vatican. Yes, for example, in front of Vatican, I am the first responsible for the congregation. If the congregation has a problem, I respond for this. Yeah.
Okay. So you have to answer for all that we do to the Vatican.
Yeah. When I was in Rome, my day usually begins with a morning prayer and the liturgy of hours, followed by mass and breakfast. The day then continue with various activities, which may include administrative meetings, work with different secretariats and commissions, office tasks, document drafting, and more. And I conclude the day with community prayer and liturgy of hours. If I am at home, I usually go to the gym for an hour to maintain my health, because I need for my international travels, because it's very hard. This is is a opportunity to me keep me informed.
So I heard that you have inspired many to go to the gym and keep fit over there.
Yeah.
So
yes.
Okay,
yes,
that's very good.
Yes. For me is important, because it's a way to maintain my health, and because I have many trips today. To this year, for example, I have 20 trips.
20.
And this,
okay.
Yes, it's more or less almost 2 for trips to a month. For example, in these years, I stayed 3 months outside Rome. And for me, all things change, time zone, food, languages, etc. All things change.
All the time, yeah.
Yes, because and I need to be very concentrated, and in this sense, for example, the gene helped me to be a more conscious of my body and my health.
Okay, all right, that's good.
Yeah. When I am traveling, I typically have numerous meetings and assemblies. At each event, I usually deliver speeches and homilies, and also meet with groups, conference, and lay people. For all of these, I need to prepare myself both personally and spiritually, because it's not give a speech, but I need to before reflect about this. Pray about this, no? My life is quite full, and I have a very busy schedule, but I try to organize it in a way to allows me to be present in the life of the congregation across its many realities and circumstances.
Yeah. So after hearing what you've said, I just realized that we should really not complain that we have a busy schedule. No one is having a busy schedule as compared to what you are experiencing. So anyway, I would just like to invite all our listeners, if you can also really just do pray for our Superior General, that he will have all the energy and strength to continue doing what he does. So maybe perhaps just to move on a little bit now, Father Rogerio, being the Superior General, you have the best bird's eye view of our congregation. So maybe you can also share with our listeners a little bit, what is the current state of our Redemptorist congregation around the world? Are we growing? Are we shrinking? Is it something that we should be celebrating of the state, or something that we need to be a bit worried or pray for? So do enlighten us.
Yeah. The current situation of the congregation, as in all consecrated life, is marked by a decline in membership. However, I believe that our decline is not yet too pronounced. Nevertheless, if we are unable to carry out effective vocational works, this situation is likely to worsen in the coming years. I think it's very important, for example, effective vocational work in this moment. If you analyze this situation by conference, Europe and North America, present the most complex scenario, mainly due to the aging of the conference and the reduced number of new vocations. Latin America and the Caribbean are currently in a relatively stable position. The number of vocations has not increased significantly, but neither has it declined. However, the trend indicates a potential future decrease. I often say that Latin America is in a yellow phase, a phase of caution and vigilance. I think it's very important to Latin America has conscience this situation. No? In Asia and Oceania, we see two distinct realities. On the one hand, there are contests of strong vocational growth, such as in Indonesia, in Vietnam, or on the other hand, there are situations of stability, like in Thailand and Philippines. However, some realities such as South Korea, Oceania, and Japan continue to experience very low numbers of vocation. The African Conference remains very young. In some countries, such as Nigeria, there is a significant number of vocations. In contrast, in countries like South Africa, the number is quite low and the conference are aging. This, in broad terms, is the current state of the congregation. Therefore, we cannot neglect the work of vocational promotion, which is essential not only for the future of our mission, but also for the perseverance of professed members. A province may welcome many new young men, but it may also experience a high number of departures among those already professed. We have some case in the congregation. Young men join the congregation. They have a formation process, has the first profession, perpetual profession, but after some years, 5 years or less, they left to the congregation.
Do you know that currently, worldwide, how many Redemptorists do we have?
Actually, we have 4,580 conference, more or less.
It's about 4,500 conference, roughly around.
Yes.
I remember when I joined, we were told that we were about 6,000 Redemptorists worldwide.
4,500 more or less is the number. In the past, we arrived a lot of members, but now is the number.
Yeah. So roughly around in a span of slightly more than 10 years, we have lost about at least 1,000 members. But probably is it because of I presume the aging population of our conference, and also we don't have enough new vocations to fill back up the numbers. But I presume that this is a situation that goes across all the different congregations. So now you have mentioned about the global situation, and you have also shared that one of your main responsibility is to animate the whole congregation. So perhaps I could also just ask, for this period of your guidance, what are the major priorities and focus that you are trying to share with the whole congregation?
Yeah. The priorities at this moment is first to implement the decision of the 26th General Chapter and to closely accompany all the conference in the restructuring process. In
Okay,
addition,
so we are going through, just for our listeners, that globally we are going through a lot of restructuring, right? Trying to make our whole congregation a little bit more properly, properly placed so that we are more effective in our missionary work. Yeah.
yes.
Please
Yes.
continue. Yeah.
Yeah. In addition, it's essential to ensure closer monitoring of the apostolic life of the various province, vice province, regions, and missions of the congregation through fraternal visits, online meetings, and the work carried out by the secretariats and various commissions. The general government, we have the general council, and we have commissions and secretariat. We have the secretariat for formation, secretariat for evangelization, commission for young people. We have the secretariat for finances. We have the commission, Broads Commission. We have different commissions to help the general council in this work, to this important work, to animate the apostolic life of the congregation. Another important aspect is to give the congregation a more human face, to encourage the conference to act as a united missionary body in proclaiming the gospel, to be proud of being redemptorist, and to persevere in the congregation until to the end. I think is when I say to be proud of being redemptorist is very important. It's not something wrong, but means I am very well as redemptorist. I enjoy the redemptorist life. This is to be proud of the redemptorist life.
Okay. And perhaps maybe you can also just share with us, looking in trying to share all these priorities to all the redemptorists around the world, what might be some of the major challenges, major obstacles, and also at the same time, what might be the hopes and what are the positive signs for the congregation?
Yeah. I would highlight 5 challenges.
Wow.
First,
many.
Evangelization in today's world. I think we live in a world that is constantly changing, marked by major transformations, new realities such as social media, artificial intelligence, and technological advance are part of everyday life in modern society. However, this progress also brings significant challenges, including the superficiality of human relationships and growing distance from God, secularism, etc. Evangelizing such a dynamic world with ever-evolving languages and realities is a true challenge. The language of the gospel does not change daily. It's a language it's all essentially consistent over time. Yet it must be adapted to the different cultural and social context in order to be effectively understood. This process of adaptation requires deep reflection, attentively listening, and constant discernment. It does not happen overnight, no? The second is we talk about this, the low number of vocation. The declining number of vocation in many parts of the world is a deeply concerning issue. As I mentioned earlier, in some contexts, we have only a very limited number of candidates in information house, and in certain provinces of the congregation, there are none at all. This reality naturally has a direct impact on the future missionary capacity of the congregation. The third, the formation of the new members. No? Forming new missionaries today is a particularly demanding task. Young people are faced with many options, and they are influenced for better or worse by a variety of formators. Excessive exposure to social media, limited reading habits, fragile interpersonal relationships, and the broader crisis affecting families, a school, the church, and politics in today's world. This is a challenge for the formation today, no? Another is force as the perseverance of the professed members. We also concerned about the perseverance of professed members. It's possible to have many new people, young people, join us, but and a high number of professions, but it's those who are professed do not persevere in their vocation to the end. And the number of active religious will inevitably decline. This too has a different effect on the evangelizing capacity of a province, region, or a mission. And fifth, the process of restructuring. The entire congregation is currently undergoing a process of restructuring. New provinces are being created, and others are in the process of consolidation. Federations and confederations are also emerging. Naturally, this process causes discomfort for some conference, while some resist change, preferring to stay with their comfort zones. Others see this moment as an opportunity for renewal and new missionary horizon. It's important to remember that the fundamental goal of restructuring is to strengthen the mission. We are facing a new reality for both the conference and the general government, which call for patience, listening, and close accompaniment of the diverse situation across the congregation. It should be emphasized that the province and conference are at different stages or levels of this journey. Some new units are still in the formation phase, while others have entered in a stage of consolidation. Thus, with the congregation itself, multiply stage of the shared paths coexist. I think it's more or less the situation and the challenges I can see at the moment.
Okay.
And
a lot of
yes.
Please, now what are the hopes and the positive signs that we can look forward to?
Yes, I could mention several signs of hope, but I will focus on all these. First, I highlight the fidelity of the conference to the mission. No, most of them truly embrace the Redemptorist mission in all the apostolic activities of the congregation. This is something very beautiful and inspiring. Many conferences work in the difficult situation, in the frontiers, in very poor places, for example. I think it's for me is a hope, is a positive sign of the evangelization and the engagement with the carers. Another important aspect is the process of restructuring in the congregation. For many, It has been a great challenge, but it's also a transformative element that has changed the face of the congregation. No? Today, the congregation now embodies a different spirit. The conference know each other better, and there is a clear vision of an international and cultural congregation. Many conferences will have the common formation. For example, different internal or international communities. I think it's another vision in the congregation today. I see young people who seek us out is a great sign of hope. The young men information represent a promising future. In addition, there are those who embrace the Redemptorist charism, adapting it to the contemporary world. I think it's very important. And I also highlight the work with the lay people. In many parts of the congregation, lay people have taken an important role. However, I believe we still need to expand this space in order to further strengthen our shared mission. And finally, I believe the congregation remains faithful to its charism by staying close to the poorest and most abandoned. Redemptorist missionaries, both priests and brothers, are in most cases present among the poor and marginalized. And when they are not physically present, they at least strive to be a voice for those who have no voice. These are the signs of hope that I joyfully see in our congregation today.
Okay. Well, so there's still a lot of things that we can look forward to, and there's still a lot of things that can excite us to really continue to share our mission and vision to the world. Now, I'm aware of time. You have really spent a lot of time sharing with us the situation around the world. But maybe before I end, I would just like to ask something a little bit more personal. You have, in your capacity, travel almost around the world, visiting all corners of the world. Maybe it might be difficult, but can you just share with us one of your most memorable memory or your most memorable experience in your engagement as a superior general?
Yes, I have, for example, one of most memorable experiences as superior general was meeting Pope Francis during an audience, audience with my entire council. It was the second time I had met him, because the first was when I was elected superior general. He asked me how the congregation was doing. And I gave him an overview of the mission. In each conference, he listened attentively, and they encouraged me to take special care with formation. And other memorable moments for me are when I meet the conference and lay people. I have an intensive schedule with many long trips. But when I meet the conference, talk to them and learn about the different pastoral works they are involved in it recharged me. This is a very important moment when I met the conference in different contexts. Sometimes I was very tired, but when I enter, I talked to the conference and I met him. It's very important for me. It's recharged me.
Maybe I just want to share to our listeners also, Father Rogerio is an extremely friendly person. So wherever he goes, that he really enjoy engaging with anyone, the conference and any of the lay partners included. And he was also joking that everyone that come and have a chat with him would like to have a photo taken with him. So if he just collect a very small amount for each time he take a photo with anyone, and that would be a very, very sizable sum that can go for our to our mission work. But anyway, I just want to say Father Rogerio is a very wonderful and friendly person, and even during his visit here to Singapore, I'm sure any one of us who have come to encounter with him would have already felt that. Now, maybe just one last question before I say goodbye. Father, many people who are listening to this podcast might also be searching to think what might be their vocation in life, and some of them might be considering priestly vocation or religious life, or even the possibility of joining the Redemptorist. What would you have to say to these people who are searching, and what might be some of your words of encouragement?
Yeah. I would say that it's important to listen careful to the Lord's call and to recognize the signs, the signs of the Holy Spirit He plays in each person's life. I told about this when we start this interview. It's essential not to be afraid to follow Him. He may be calling you right now.
Yeah.
The Redemptorist consecrated religious life is a truly worthwhile. We do not live alone. We live in community and work on behalf of the poorest and most abandoned, proclaiming the gospel. And we are guided by a unique charisma and a very beautiful spirituality. This unique charisma and a very beautiful spirituality sustain us. We are an international congregation formed for mission. Wherever the congregation has a need, we are called to serve. And therefore, it's essential to pray for one's vocation, asking the Holy Spirit to show us the best path to follow, and to ask Mary, Mother of Perpetual, help to accompany us on the journey of discernment. It's very important to pray. It's very important to pray for the vocation. Personally, for my vocation, and for example, vocation for the church, consecrated life, Redemptorist life, diocesan life, and for especially in for the couples today, we need, for example, many people working society, families. We need to pray for the families for continue their mission in society today, and give vocation to the church.
Okay, so thank you very much, Father Rogerio, for that final words of encouragement and wisdom. Now, just to end this, our listener, you might realize that English might not be the first language of Father Rogerio, but yeah, he speaks very well. We can very easily understand him. But I believe, Father Rogerio, you can speak quite a few different languages. Definitely Portuguese, I believe Spanish, Italian. So before we end this, Father Rogerio, can I just invite you to just say very short words of like greeting to the listeners. Maybe this they will be from all around the world, from with all the different languages that you can speak. Okay, like maybe starting from Portuguese, you can just say a short line, and then you move on to all the other languages that you can speak.
Yes, it's in Portuguese. Bonjour, bom dia, no? Good morning is bom dia. And in Spanish, buenos dias. And in French, bonjour. And in German, guten Morgen. Is Italian, buongiorno.
Okay, well, that's just a one word. Okay, but I think you passed that. Thank you so much, Father Rogerio, once again for being with us. Really, if we have time, we would love to have a lot more chats. Hopefully, in the future, you could spare a bit more time to come on the podcast and have another chat again with us. So we really wish you all the best. Now we will pray for you every day for the strength and the wisdom to continue to guide the Redemptorist Congregation. Now, so just for our listeners, right after this podcast, Father Rogerio will be going around Singapore a little bit to see the sights and the beauty of Singapore. He has been here for about a week, but he has been locked here in Novena Church because there's so many engagements, work finally today. Hopefully we can show him a little bit more of the beauty and sights of Singapore. So enjoy your time here in Singapore, and we hope to see you again very soon.
Okay.
All right. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Thanks. Obrigado. Gracias. Dankeschön.
Okay.
Merci.
Bye-bye. All right. All right, welcome back. So I hope all of you enjoyed that chat with our superior general, Father Rogerio. So as many of you might have realized, English is not the first language of Father Rogerio. Actually, over here, I just would like to share with our listeners. Father Rogerio might not be too conversant in English when he was elected as the Superior General, and he really put in a lot of effort to improve his English. So at that point where we had this conversation, I think he has really, at least in conversation, we can understand him, and he is very clear in his message. And so I just want to say a big thanks to Father Rogerio for putting so much effort to help at least all the English-speaking Redemptorists be able to communicate with him better. Anyway,
that's right, Terence. Father Rogerio, when he came to our vice provincial chapter just 2 years ago, he attended online, and he was not really able to converse with us in English, and so we had to do translation from Italian. But you see, in just a couple of years, he has become so confident to preach at the procession and to talk to us in our meetings in English.
Actually, just to let the listener hear a little bit of behind the scene thing. So he kept telling me, give me the specific questions that you're going to ask so that I can prepare beforehand. And he really did a diligent job in preparing. But I kept going off script by asking him some side questions, and I can see that he was like, oh no. But so thanks so much to Father Rogerio for all the effort and being so sporting. So anyway, Gerard, did you know Father Rogerio before he came and visited us in Singapore?
Yes, I did. I met him in 2012, and we were students together in Rome. He was doing his doctorate. I wasn't doing a PhD, but all the Redemptorists who go to study in Rome live together in community, and we were together in that same community known as the Collegio Maggiore. He was doing his PhD at the Alfonsianum, and I was studying at the Gregorian University. But we would often meet for breakfast, at prayers, at meals. And of course, I didn't know at the time that he was going to become the Superior General. He's just a regular guy, just one among 33 of us in the Collegio Maggiore in that community. But, obviously he has some tremendous gift and talent that really set him apart. We have even more in common. We are the same age, and we were both ordained in the same year as well. He's 1 year older than me, and he was ordained 1 month before me.
Okay.
1 month older than me and was ordained 1 month ahead of me as well.
Oh, okay. All right.
Many coincidences that we have in our life as well. And I was also present when he was elected as the Superior General.
I was just about to ask that.
I was a capitular at that general chapter, and I was there at the election that he described. And I'll just tell you two little stories now. When I arrived at the general chapter, his name was already being put forward as probably the favorite. So it was not a surprise when he was elected. He was already standing out even before we gathered in Rome for that chapter. And I remember sitting with him on the Sunday afternoon, the day before the chapter, few of us just happened to end up at that table having a coffee after lunch. And I asked him, I said, so are you ready? Huh? I asked him in Italian, say pronto. And his response was, sono tranquillo. That's an Italian expression that just says, I'm chill about the whole thing. I'm pretty
Oh, wow.
easy. And
Okay.
so, wow, it was pretty amazing to hear him say that, I
Yeah, yeah,
brought
yeah.
some gifts as well to distribute to people I met at the chapter. I had a whole bag of Novena Church goodies and merchandise. And
Yeah.
after his election, I gave him the gift for him. And I gave him the umbrella. I gave him the Novena Church umbrella. And I
Oh,
said, well,
okay.
this is
All
for
right.
you because in the life of the general, you'll expect it to rain quite often. So I'm giving you an umbrella. And
Wow, wow, very symbolic. Yes,
so
yes.
just a bit of a joke. But I hope he's still got the umbrella and it's useful for him.
Yeah, I'm sure, I'm
Yeah,
sure.
so I've known him for about 13 or 14 years now, and we meet off and
Mhm.
on, at some events.
Yeah. So you have also listened to his interview and his sharing in our conversation. Do you have any feedback about what he had to say?
Yeah, there are a few points, that I thought I would highlight. No, I think first of all, he often uses the "do not be afraid" phrase.
Mm.
Yeah, it's a slogan. I think that's often attributed to Pope John Paul II. Non avere paura is the Italian term that goes around a lot everywhere in the church. So, not to have any fear of the future, of living out our vocation, of making a commitment to any particular way of life, because God is with us and will see to the fruition of all of our efforts. So don't live your life in fear. Just go ahead. I think the fact that he highlighted the fact that we have a unique spirituality and a beautiful charism. I love those words. We are redemptorists and we can be proud of who we are. We can be proud of our history. We offer something to the church and to the kingdom of God that is unique, and it's something that we have to claim for ourselves. He mentioned a number of challenges, but I think the last thing I would say is that he was moved by the many, many confreres who are working very faithfully in difficult
Yeah.
conditions. Remember our confreres working in Lebanon, in Iraq at this time as well, and they are choosing to remain there. Most of them are not local to the place, and so it's a choice for them to be there. And he highlighted that common formation now has, almost every redemptorist is trained together with people from other countries and units, and vocations are growing in some places. Right
Yeah.
here in Malaysia and Singapore, we have 6, maybe 7 in formation at this time.
Yes.
That's fantastic hope for
Yeah.
the future. So do not be afraid. Non avere paura. We have a future ahead of us. Yeah. What
Yes,
about you,
yes.
Terence? What did you pick up from his insights?
Well, of course, I was listening to him. I know we are at very different space, but I was just trying to see how I can learn from him in terms of how I managed my ministry work and my life. And I think that Father Rogerio has a very good way of helping himself to be in a balanced space. Although he's like so swamped with work, he still have the discipline of keeping himself healthy. At least he tried his very best, and he's kind of like have a inner zen, very chill kind of attitude towards whatever
Yeah.
that he's doing. And I think
Yeah.
that that's something that I'm inspired by him, and I hope that I can also try to put that a little bit into my working space, my ministry, so that I can also always feel very zen and
Yeah.
deal with everything. It's like, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Leave
He's
it
a
to
very,
God.
very
Yeah.
chill guy.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
So I think you need a little bit of this kind of attitude to really deal with all the workload and all the different challenges in the ministry works that we are facing.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'd love to talk with you a lot more about this conversation, but because of the constraint of time, I think we have to move on. We're just going to tell our listeners what is going to happen at the second half of March and then we'll say goodbye. Okay. So during this season of Lent, we are now in the season of Lent. I hope you are having a very blessed time. And we are over here in Novena Church. We're also doing a fair bit of things to help the churchgoer have a good time of preparation so that you can really be very spiritually charged over this period, and then we can prepare ourselves to celebrate Easter. So first of all, do you know the drill? During the season of Lent, we will always have Stations of the Cross. So here in Novena Church, Stations is every Friday before the evening Mass at 6 p.m. So any of you who are here in Singapore, do come and join us for this time of reflecting on the action and the love of God for us. Beyond that, we have, Gerard, do you want to take that?
Yeah, okay, so 2 more events to tell you about. First is the Lenten Recollection, and it's just a time for us to come together to listen to a spiritual talk, spend some time in prayer before the Lord, particularly in preparation for Holy Week, the most sacred time of the year for us in our church and in our faith. So that's on the 26th of March, 2026. What day is that again, Terence?
I'm not too
26th
sure.
of March at
Let me check.
7:15 p.m.
It's a
and it will just be,
Thursday.
it's a Thursday, okay, a Thursday night, 26th of March, 7:15 p.m. In the church. So join us for a talk, a spiritual conference.
Yeah. So it's after the evening Mass, so you can just come for the evening Mass and then just stay back a fair bit, just for a short while, and then we will start the recollection.
Okay.
And
the
then
next
we
one
have
is the monthly Tamil Novena and Sunset Mass, and the next one is on the 28th of March, fourth Saturday of every month, 28th of March, beginning at 8 p.m. So this community has just celebrated their first anniversary. They had a big bash last month. I was part of it. About nine priests had come from other churches and were joining in. Our former vicar, Father Joe Stephen, a very fluent Tamil speaker, came from Malaysia to preach and to preside at that as well. So it was a wonderful community, food afterwards and all that. So it's great to see a big crowd there.
Have you been brushing up your Tamil so that you can also
I have.
help?
I've been trying to brush up my Tamil so I can talk to people more after the Mass. So Father
not
Rogerio
to
is
do
a
the
good
Tamil
inspiration
Novena
for me.
or something like that. Okay.
That one I need a lot of help. Although I'm a Tamil speaker myself, in a sense, I learned colloquially speaking on the streets and at home with my grandparents, but I never did any formal studies in it. And so I think a lot of Indians in Singapore can resonate with me.
I just heard, I'm not sure if this is the truth, but I heard that you did the part of the Eucharistic prayer during the Tamil Mass, and your mom was in the audience and she was like tearing hearing her son finally praying in Tamil during Mass.
In public.
Any truth to that?
No,
so you did? Okay.
I did.
All right, moving on. So we are almost by the end of March, we will be reaching the end of Lent also. So we are going to have Palm Sunday on the last Sunday of March, which is on the 29th of March. So please come and attend this very important liturgy and celebration. Mass timing will be as per the normal weekend Mass timing. So if you can't come for the Saturday one, there's still a Saturday and Sunday. If you can't come for the Sunday, there's still a Saturday anticipated Mass at 6:30, and on Sunday is 8 a.m., 10 a.m., 12 p.m., and 5:30 in the evening. And finally, I just want to share this one important activities that we are starting also during this season of Lent, helping people to move towards Easter. And that is this program called Praying with Cancer. This is a little bit of a kick-off program. Hopefully that it will lead to a kind of a cancer support group here in Novena Church. So this program, Praying with Cancer, is a 4-week program, of which during the session we will share a little bit of insights as to how we can still go into this space of prayer and connectedness with God, even while we are struggling with this rather difficult sickness of cancer. So it will be held on 4 Thursday. They are not consecutive, but 4 different Thursday. On the March, it will be March 19 and 26, and then we'll take a bit of a break, and it goes to April 16 and 23. So this is for anyone, okay? So if you are a cancer patient, you are in remission, you are family members or friends of those who have cancer, or you just want to know a little bit more about it, we invite you to come and join us for this program. Yeah. So that's all we have for this time. So Gerard, before we say goodbye to our listeners, do you have any last parting words?
Oh, yeah. Well, I wanted to congratulate you. Well done, Terence, for getting the Superior General on the podcast.
Okay. Just
I was having
they
another
were
interview
very,
with
very
him actually during that trip for vocations. Yeah, so we both
right.
we
So
both
that video is
snagged
going
him
to
for
come
different
out
things. That's going to come
sometime
out
soon,
later
right?
on later this
Okay.
year. And
Okay.
with so many of the activities that you've organized, especially in terms of our social mission. So well done, Terence. You've been very busy, faithful, and fruitful.
Yeah. Well, but I enjoy it, and I definitely enjoy talking to all our different conferences around the world. And of course, I hope that you can also. I know you're so busy, but you can still be a guest host every now and then, especially when we have some important guests, so that you can ask all
thank
the
you very much
smart
for having me.
questions.
I'm glad I
Okay,
could be.
so yeah, so with that, we just want to say goodbye to our listeners, and we hope to see you very, very soon. Okay, we try our very best to bring you another episode, hopefully next month. All right, so goodbye, God bless, and have a blessed land and a wonderful Easter.
Blessings, everyone.
Bye bye.